All right, everyone, I am super excited for this. So today we are going to be reacting to Augustino Zinga's live stream. I've always meant to do this. I have the utmost respect for him. I don't know how much we'll get through, but let's just get started.
And the kid. Come on.
Hate that intro.
Let's do some fan questions.
Can't wait, pal. This is the last episode in LA Studios.
This is the last episode. I'm gonna.
AZ, here's my message for you.
Take this off. I wore this last
You got
time.
all the signs coming down.
They really are. By the way, you could have took it before you started. They really are phoning these episodes in, aren't they? Instead of actually going through topics and whatever else, they'd rather just do a Q&A. Easier to get through the show with a couple of Q&A sessions and shit.
Yeah.
They really are phoning in these last few episodes.
I mean, but as a streamer, as a video maker, you know, after so many episodes, let alone 1,000 plus, it's sort of hard to come up with things to say. Not for me. I mean, I'm barely at episode 100, but I can see how it would get old after a while. But if you're talking to your friends for 30 plus years or whatever, you never just get bored of talking to them.
Can't blame them though. Fans don't seem to give a shit.
Out there.
Sorry.
We got all the signage coming down.
Man, my arms have been benching and boxing.
No, you haven't. I wonder who's going to take over this studio.
Who cares?
Yeah, fair. Are they going to leave the walls?
Man, I hope they really take care of this place.
No, I don't care.
You know that sentimental shit that we all, like some people do? If I'm leaving a house, I mean, you'll be sad about your house, won't you, a little bit? Say goodbye to your house or no? Say goodbye to the trees in the backyard?
No, I'm more excited about getting to Austin.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We look in the...
I'm over
We
it.
don't look in the rear view.
Sometimes I will, but not with the house. I mean, yeah, I guess Bossy was born there.
Sometimes I'll
Billy
look
was
at a
born
place
there.
and I'll be like, a lot of stuff happened in this space.
Yeah.
You know, you go, all right, it's been good to me, man.
Yeah, I'll miss LA for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just over it though. With all the move and dealing, I'm in the Airbnb. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of there, man.
But I love LA.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got, kids?
For what it's worth, I'm sad. So I'm sentimental about it.
I know you
but
are.
we'll save
You
that.
wouldn't
for
be
the-
sad if you were coming.
Oh, crap.
She's got her titties out as well, huh? She got the old fucking tatas out, huh? She's got the fucking old the little fucking Persian milkers out as well, to remind Papa what he's missing out on there. Jesus Christ, they started off strong already, innit, huh? To be honest, I'm sad. I'm gonna miss you, Daddy. I'm gonna miss you, Pappy. Like, god damn it, girl.
He's looking.
Let's rein in a little bit. This guy's married, isn't he?
So he says.
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
we're also dead behind the eyes after 30 years. Anyway,
That's
okay.
Okay. Here's one that comes to us from Chance Harris.
He looks properly sad. Look at his nose digging into the fucking microphone.
Yo, that is what I'm always saying. Why is he like, I need to get closer. I need to get closer and touch it and touch it. Dude, what are you doing? You know how like some people have like safety nets? This is you, Breandan. You touching your nose to your mic is something that makes you feel safe.
It's almost like a defense mechanism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when he's feeling a little bit vulnerable. Look at him. He's actually definitely sad. He's looking at her, thinking about all the different times he's had a fucking, you know, folded like a fucking pretzel all over that fucking studio. He's remembering. He's remembering all the late nights, all the early mornings, all the quick sneaking off and shit
Folded like a
in
pretzel.
between fucking recordings and stuff. He's remembering a lot of stuff right now. He's contemplating a lot of stuff. He's reminiscing on a lot of things right now. That mind is fucking traveling deep in the recesses of his brain to pull on those memories, those experiences that he's probably never going to experience again. Damn, he had it good.
Yes. It's two parts. What's been your favorite and least favorite thing about Austin so far?
My least favorite thing about Austin. My favorite thing about Austin is the community and the comedic energy that's there. The energy in general that's going on in that.
Hey Brian, you're 5 years late for that energy, man. My nigga, you're nearly 60 years old. You might even be 60 now. Because a lot of these guys, I also believe, fake their age. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of these guys lie about their ages. I'm not sure why I just thought about this right now, but I just remembered this is LA. It's an image thing, whatever else it may be. Most likely, a lot of these guys have lied about their ages. 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So most likely, Carlin is probably 60 right now. Energy ain't gonna save you, bro. You're 60. There is no making it for you. You've had your chances. You blew most of them. This is just about keeping the lights on. Energy. You're 60, bro.
City on all different facets, right? But I could do without the homelessness and the chaos of 6th Street sometimes. As could.
Hey, brother, you're not gonna hang out in 6th Street every day. And also, didn't you have homelessness in LA? Didn't you research this before you left? What happened to Fort Worth, by the way? Remember?
Yeah, I thought he was talking about LA, like, oh, the homelessness. If you were really talking about Austin, dude, it's one and the same.
Breandan was saying he wasn't going to move to Austin, Texas. It's all about fucking Fort Worth. He was going to be this fucking Texas hipster. He's acting like he wasn't going to suck Rogan off and bread him and follow him. And then in the end, guess where he's going?
Him?
Oh, that's right, to Austin, where everyone else is going. 5 years later, by the way, or however long it is, right? It's probably been about 5 years, I think, since the comedy mothership is set up. It's a bit too late, mate. It's a bit too late. It might be good for Brian's stand-up anyway, because it's better than being in LA and not be able to play clubs. Cool, but it's just a little too late.
Everybody.
Oh, because you have to deal with it because when you go to the mothership.
Yeah.
But if you're not downtown or off 6th Street,
it's all
there's
good,
no homeless.
Bro. It's all good.
When I go, I don't see any homeless.
There's no homeless.
Oh, Breandan made that very clear, innit? You're gonna have to be dealing with that when you go to the mothership. He didn't say anything about him going. He made it very clear. He's probably going to, knowing Breandan as well, because he's weirdly very anxious and paranoid. He has this internal, maybe it's a dream or something, or it's a premonition or whatever. He has this weird irrational fear that someone from the homeless cat subreddit and shit, T5K subreddit, is gonna fucking kill him or something. I don't know. I think he's got that kind of fear. That's why he kind of avoids all these. That's why he's usually kind of really tense and weird when he's doing Q&As. So most likely this guy won't step foot on 6th Street. He won't be anywhere near the comedy mothership because he's afraid some, I don't know, some Legion of the Skanks person, some
Yeah, that's what's so weird is he's Mr. Tough Guy. You know, he'll do all this sorts of crazy things, but he's scared of me and you. Like, we'd attack him. Granted, you know, you have a weapon, and that's a different story. I get it. But Breandan, as much as I don't like you, I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy to like ever try harming you. So you need to pick a lane. Either you're Mr. Sensitive or you're Mr. Tough Guy. You can't have it both ways.
Fat K person, some fucking, I don't know, some fan of, I don't know who I can name here, Nate Diaz, might be around and just like do something crazy. He's going to avoid that place like the plague, and if he goes there, he'll arrive by fucking, you know, private hire car and shit, in and out, you know. I don't think he wants to engage or be around those people at all. He's making it very clear. Brian's going to stand up. I'm going there just to kind of save money.
What do I see any here, to be honest? I mean, everyone thinks LA's just like fucking Armageddon, but
Did you say here or you said hair? What you said? Hair or here?
What do I see any here, to be honest? I mean, everyone thinks
Can't say it.
Little things I love the most. Hair. Instead of being able to say here, or here, he says hair, as in the follicles on the top of your head.
Yeah.
One more time.
when I go, I don't see any homeless.
There's no homeless.
Nor do I see any here, to be honest. I mean, everyone thinks LA's just like fucking Armageddon, but where
People
we
also
live,
really
there's
polite
no
in Texas.
homeless.
People are polite in Texas.
I don't know. That's a
most
question for
part.
Brian. I haven't been there. I get there next week, so I don't.
Pure polite in text. I thought Ben's gonna say, I don't know, I don't talk to anybody. I'm just here to pod and go home. So, okay, you're fun. You're fucking fun.
I couldn't tell you. If I have one more person to tell me about the heat, I'm gonna slam my dick into a door. I got it.
Yeah.
By the way. Famous last words. He's already moaning about people telling him about the heat. Famous last words. Because I've read it actually is crazy. So when it actually does get really hot, I can't wait to hear him fucking complain about it on the pod. He told everybody to leave him the fuck alone and shut the fuck up about the heat. I got it under control. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and if you notice, he's doing that whole safety net thing again with his mic. See, you can tell right here. Look how close Breandan's mic is to his face. And look at Brian Callen's. There is a clear difference. Breandan brings up that mic ever so close because he wants to touch it with his nose. How crazy is that? It's that close to him. And look at, even Brian's isn't even like, it's like a straight shot. Look at, this is literally right in front of Breandan's face.
When this heat happens, let's see how you react. Let's see how you actually react.
It's hot here too, guys.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Hot's hot.
And the second part of Chance's question was, how do you think a matchup between Dustin Poirier and Torpilla goes? I think
great
it's
fight.
such a
Great
good
fight.
matchup that was never discussed because
It's a
of the
great
timing.
fight.
I think it could happen if I know Dustin says this is the last one. It's in New Orleans.
We also see
So if Bappa doesn't do Golden Hour and Carlin leaves fuck, then he only has Schaub show. How will he pay the bills? What Austin comic will he force to pod with him next?
my theory is this. I don't think Carlin is ever leaving T-Fat-K. I don't think there's a hope in hell that Carlin ever leaves T-Fat-K. Why do I say that? I don't think he can supplement that income. I think T-Fat-K might be the majority or close to the majority of Carlin's monthly income.
Which is probably true, friend. But he moved to Austin, Texas to do more comedy. And if he's going to be performing at the mothership like every day, whatever, every weekend, that's going to pay some pretty big bucks. Arguably more than what Breandan could pay. We're all something to our core. And to Brian's core, he's not a podcaster. He's a comedian. Therefore, he's gonna do what reaches or what means the most to him. So the second he starts getting that paycheck from the mothership, he's done.
Is what he generates from T-Fat-K. I don't think he can afford to do that on his own either. He's no chance of doing it. He's not consistent enough, doesn't have the work ethic, nothing, discipline. He can't do any of that shit. He's just a lazy kind of chancer rich guy that kind of got lucky, you know? That's it. So I don't think there's a chance that he ever leaves. But I think, you know, if they cut down on the cost, like we don't know how much they pay for the studio, man. The studio's in some sort of like, what is it, like industrial park somewhere out of the way, outside of LA. It looks like the buildings are all kind of rented by companies, not like podcast people. It looks like they're rented by offices and whatever companies, service industry, whatever product stuff. So maybe they're just paying too much in rent, so they'll be able to comfortably afford renting out a fucking little studio somewhere in Texas, paying for a same size place in Texas as they did in LA, and still have money left over. So I don't think he'll have the money problems he probably would have had in LA, which probably also might explain why the move to LA, why the move to Texas was so kind of quick and rapid. You know, he probably couldn't afford to stay there any longer, because if he stayed longer, there must probably people would have come down and repoed stuff. So that's what I would have think. That's the long answer for that. Is I don't think Carlin's ever leaving, and I think Breandan will be able to keep the lights on with T-Fat-K and Schaub show, or whatever, even without Golden Hour, because his costs are low. His overhead's going to be way lower. The studio's going to be way cheaper to rent and shit, I'd imagine.
I have something to say, just to stroke off my ego to completion. I love how I reacted to Timos, reacting to AZ now, and it got me thinking, who are the top 3 Breandan Schaub content creators? Well, I know Unique would beat me, but if we're talking about like video, like you know, like I don't even want to say podcasting, but podcast style, will it help my ego to admit that I'm the 3rd most popular? Probably, yeah.
Right, his home state. But if you were to knock Max out, I bet they're like, yo, dude.
Yeah.
And Topuria beats Charles Oliveira and he's champ. Like, hey, Dustin, we know you said this is your last one, but we'll give you a title shot at 55 for your last one.
Wow.
Against Topuria, and that's a
No one
fucking
covers Breandan more than
Yeah, because you're
for
talking
sure.
Dustin
Well, you know,
is
you know what I mean.
up in that mid level. That
Power,
distance.
too.
Great power. Hits just as hard as Topuria.
I bet Dustin would do one more if they offered him a world title shot against
and that's a
Topuria.
toss.
It could happen.
And that's a toss-up. Who wins that, right?
You'd favor Topuria, but
Yeah.
he's in his prime. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dustin's a great.
But I
boxer.
bet they could get Dustin to do one more for that fight. So you could see it. That's if Dustin wins. That's if Topuria wins.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's for Breandan, and it's from Eli Stevens. Any plans to do a mod/giveaway with a diesel truck when you get to Austin? I drive a GMC 2500 AT4 and would
Allison
love to
transmission?
see
I give away whatever I'm taking, bro. I give away whatever I'm given. There's probably no choice in the matter. Because somebody said the other day, like at one stream, that this fucking truck giveaway thing might not be a scam, but it's probably one of these weird influencer type things where a company uses Breandan as a sort of spokesperson, whatever, but they kind of handled the back end of it. So most likely whatever truck they have and they want to mod, they kind of, you know, present to him, but he doesn't have any say so in it, I'd imagine. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong.
tackle a real quote Texas truck.
That's not a bad idea. I would love to do like a F-350 dually. I'd be down for that, especially in Texas.
How
do a
often?
proper.
How many trucks are diesel? The bigger ones?
Hold on. Did he write that himself? Let me read that again. Seems like a very convenient question to ask.
Away with a diesel truck when you get
Very convenient question.
Eli Stevens. Any plans to do a mod?
What's the guy's name?
One's for Breandan, and it's from Eli Stevens.
Eli Stevens. Like Eli Manning.
It's such a fake name.
Like Steven Jackson. Eli Stevens. I smell a plant.
Any plans to do a mod/giveaway with a diesel truck when you get to Austin? I drive a
I'll be up with Aziz. I just saw your post. Big up with Aziz. You know Breandan said exactly. There's something about that question that smells like Breandan wrote himself in it. Or wrote it himself, sorry.
GMC 2500 AT4 and would
Allison
love to
transmission?
see you tackle a real quote Texas truck.
That's not a bad idea. I would love to do like a F-350 dually. I'd be down for that, especially in Texas.
How
do a
often?
proper.
How many trucks are diesel? The bigger ones?
What do you mean? How many? It's just it's an option. It's an
option.
engine. Yeah.
You do an option.
Most of like the worker trucks are diesel. You
Yeah.
just need the torque to tow and
More
carry.
power, better gas
More
mileage
torque.
too, right? On
Yeah.
Diesel?
Yeah.
I had a diesel car.
I'd be down to do diesel next. The Jeep Rubicon's next in Panther Pink, so I'm putting that thing together now. But I'd be down to a proper Texas truck this year. That'd be fun.
Okay.
And my main builder, Bruno, specializes in diesel, so we could really ramp that thing up. And there's no limitations in Texas with diesel. LA's a nightmare for diesel companies. Nightmare.
Here's one from Dylan Cole. Get ready for this. I would like to challenge the gang to an academic, athletic, musical decathlon. In one day, I will outbench Breandan, outscholar Brian, and outperform Chin.
Okay, this is a real question. Because look at their faces. This is a real question because look at their faces. Look at Brian. Look at Brian's face. Look at fucking Brendan's face. This is a real question.
They do look mad.
Look at how salty. Look at how moody. Look at how grumpy. Look at how angry they look. Look at that. That's a real question. That's a real fucking question.
In a musical event. By the way, he spelled your name wrong.
Who's this?
Well, you
This
might be
will
able to
be the
outbench Breandan, but you're never gonna outbench Breandan.
Yeah.
By the way,
There are a couple of
I love how that that little fucking, name fucking fumble slip, whatever. I love how much that triggers Brendan. Being referred to as Brandon. I love how I don't know if it's an American thing with you guys over there, with Brandons as well, but I love how that little fucking slip up, mix up, whatever, triggers him all the fucking time. Whenever somebody refers to him as Brandon, he gets very, very annoyed. Like, very quickly. He gets very fucking angry. It's like, bruh, it's not that deep. He's clearly trying to fucking bait you.
Yeah.
And it obviously works. It's like, fucking hell. You might be able to be Brandon, but not Brit. It's like, okay, bro.
Yeah, that's where it's like, lean into the joke. But, like, Brendan, if you never said it bothered you, no one would care. That's why everyone calls you Breandan, Brenda, and all sorts of crazy names, because we all know it bothers you, and it's like the stupidest thing. Who cares? I mean, I get if your name is Brendan, you'd prefer to be called Brendan than Brandon, but they're just so similar, so it doesn't count.
Okay. We get it. You can spell your own name. We get it.
Boo-boos here.
Who is this saying this?
Some guy you don't know,
Dylan
man.
Cole.
Fan questions, baby.
Huh?
But he says if he loses, he'll donate $1,000 to a charity.
Some guy you don't know. It's like the fucking contempt for the fans. He went to say some fucking nobody or something, but he didn't want to be, correct himself there. It's
Some
just the
casual
contempt for the fans is
civilian.
always fucking glaring in these type of clips, bro. They only do this because they kind of have to. They kind of have to because there's no one's fucking giving a shit about the stream, so they kind of have to do what they're doing. But it's not as if they want to. That's the actual funny thing,
Charity of you guys choose.
I mean, I'm impressed. I like his confidence.
Yeah.
I like his confidence. What's his background? Has he given you any of his resume?
Yeah, better Jack Donnelly Jr. Bit of face, bitter beef face on full display. Exactly. Nobody uses that for work. Big up Apex Potter. Big up Josie. His parents probably got annoyed and it sucks with him. Exactly true. Very good point. Definitely some. What's that thing called again? Definitely some. Is it adolescent scars, childhood trauma there attached to it? Yeah, childhood trauma attached to it. Big ill advised. Why is he mad? Exactly. He's always mad. He's always fucking mad.
Resume, his size, his
nothing.
current bench.
Yeah, anything?
No.
Okay.
I'll take my odds, but good luck to you, my man. And for
He's
sure
just
spell our names
joking.
right.
And yeah,
Like,
the most
that's
difficult
gotta-
of all will be chin.
He's still going on about that, by the way. It's still
Yeah.
bothering him. It's still bothering the whole name thing. He's still triggered by it, bro.
Like, well, maybe the name thing for sure, but when you say you're better than anything than Brendan, it hurts his ego to admit he's not the best, and that's where all of this stems from. Brendan wants to be the best at everything. If you say you're better than him, it really does affect him. But I think the name thing was the icing on the cake.
Move on, bro. It's not that deep. Fuck you. No, relax.
Powerful bunch.
Go Basadaziz.
This fan question is from Jeffrey Jefferson. How are you so buff, Brendan? And how are your trucks so cool? Carlin can't wait for your special. You guys are an inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. I'm naming my child after you guys. Brendan Brian or Brian Brendan. I'm naming him after you guys. You guys are my heroes. You guys are my true North Star. Oh God almighty. Big up Basadaziz.
Again, Chen, as they spells it, because you sing like an angel.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this
Thank
guy.
you, man.
Yeah, I like him, but he's made a
No
lot of
surmise.
mistakes.
Yeah,
there.
there's nothing you can do to get your voice better at his age. So if you can't already sing better than Chin, that's never happening. He could get on a shit ton of gear and outbench me. We gotta know where he's starting at. though.
That's a lot of time.
Wait, you can never get better at singing? You can get better at anything. And I think this is like Brendan's little baseball face showing of like, oh, either you're an outlier or you're a fat piece of crap nobody. Brendan, believe it or not, you can improve at things. Point in case, you can improve on your unlikability. but you choose not to.
Do 225.
It'd be tough.
Okay.
But who knows? He might be some fucking prison strong dude. You know?
Yeah, this ain't no Lady Gaga song, Born This Way. Yo, you can change. You can change everything, but you choose not to because you think there's no validity in this hate. You think you're Mr. Perfect. Breandan, take a look in the mirror. See your forehead lift. See your puffy lips. And let that just be an eye-opener for you.
What you gotta have doing 8 hard years, giant black dude. Like, I'll do it.
I have a question. I was watching your bench now that I think about it. Not going all the way up.
No, not when I'm going fast.
Yeah.
But I posted one going all.
Brian's so pussy, innit? Brian's so pussy. He wants to say what we're saying. He wants to say what everybody on social media has been saying. He said he could do whatever 40 reps, 30 reps of 225. We still haven't seen him do it. He also said he did it once, but he did like 30, he did like 20, then he did 10, he did something. Bro, you said the whole the impressive feat that you said it was that you could do it unbroken. Now we kind of give you a fucking, you know, whatever, a top to wear so you can fucking bench some shit, a clean one and stuff. They give you everything you need to do, or he goes to the fucking gym to go and do it. And when he does record himself, he's doing fucking half reps, if that. Brian obviously now has finally noticed and taken and maybe plucked the courage up to say something, and now he's like sheepishly trying to like address it. Many weeks after, by the way, kind of old news, but it just kind of proves how much of a cuck, lick ass fucking, you know, Brian is when it comes to his fucking friends. He just can't do it, or especially Breandan anyway. But if the shoe's on the other foot, whew.
All the way up.
Are you
20 easily, yeah.
20 easily.
Easily, yeah.
But the number
20 still not 30, innit? It's not 33 or 40. I like how he's trying to act like he can do 20. Cool. Show us 20 with 4 reps, please. I'd love to see it. Show us 225 with 4 range of motion. I really would love to see it. And then obviously show us the record being broken, you know? And then the record's broken. Not that deep. You know? Come on. You got all the incentive, you'd imagine, to do it, but you won't do it.
comes down a little bit.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Big outside disease. He said he could do 40, okay? He said he could do 40, but now he's bragging about doing 20. Not the same, bro. Not the same.
But when I'm going for speed, yeah, that's how I do it. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but full bench, you think you could do 20?
I already posted that. Yeah, that's easy.
How many could you do you think total?
Probably close to 30.
Really?
Yeah. Between 25 and 30.
In the NFL?
By the way, that's still not 40. Remember he said he could do 40. That still isn't 40. So he definitely lied.
The combine, do they have to go all the way up, all the way down?
It depends. So you get away with a little bit.
Nope, they go all the way up and they go all the way down. He's lying. I've watched the fucking combine. I've watched the fucking
Yeah, of course he's
whatever
lying.
the swing they have. They go all the way up and go all the way down. Let's be real. They go all the way up and they go all the way down.
But they have a guy there. Yeah. They probably wouldn't count a good amount of those at the combine. At CU, they wouldn't count. It just depends. It depends who you got, you know.
Still,
But you're trying to fly through it. Yeah.
it's also your.
Oh, I love when people critique. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Try
there's
it.
still there's still tension the whole time on your body.
Oh, it's a beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just going for
So
speed.
bodybuilders-
Because the
but
longer
you
you're up,
what you're
the
doing.
longer. Oh yeah, bodybuilders
you
do
hit
it
your,
like
you hit more. You hit like apparently you're
You're still
under
activating more
tension.
muscle. Yeah.
So in some ways it can be harder because you're not.
It's like when I post
No.
my deadlift, some guy was critiquing like, oh,
No, it's arguably easier. It would be harder doing 5 perfect reps, exploding up, and then on the way down, doing it slowly. Go right back up, slowly control it for the eccentric. So, Breandan, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
full form. I said, bud, if you
Bud.
post a video of you doing anything over 200,
God almighty, man. The insecurity, bro, is so fucking strong. Let people say what they want to say. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just a good troll. Like it's like the mid troll. It's like the mid meta, whatever the meme. I love it. I love that troll where guys on social, instead of simping over girls and OnlyFans girls, they're just posting clip after clip of them, or, you know, of like what's that thing called? Is it mid? What about to say there? What meta is it again? Is it the cap? Oh, it's a mid meta. That mid meta is fucking brilliant. I love the mid meta calling people that are obviously attractive mid is fucking brilliant.
Like me,
It just
that's what
gets in
happened
your
to
head,
me.
you know. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's not actually legitimately correct or anything. It's not based on any kind of.
You know, that is so funny you say that, because I think it was today someone said, I have the female looks of Breandan, and I was just like, oh, okay. Because I genuinely don't let the comments get to me, because I don't care. But that, oh, you're so true. Like if you call Joanna mid, that would legit stick in her head and ruin her entire week.
Facts. It's not based on any evidence. It's just you saying it because everyone else kind of licks their ass. I love that. I'm not gonna lie.
125 pounds, I will quit lifting. I never heard from him again. It's weird, right?
Awful form. Like John Jones was getting so much shit about his form, and he was like, "Hey guys, can you take it
On
easy?
pads?
Like I'm new to this." No, and deadlifting and stuff. He's like,
yeah.
"Can you guys take it easy?" Like, you have nothing better to do than to criticize John Jones
Yeah.
and his deadlifting form.
Oh my god, it's not about having nothing better to do. It's not about having something better to do. If you get on social media and start bragging about your lifts, and then you see somebody lifting, and like a lot of these people, you see them a lot in the gym. Like, I'm probably gonna go to a gym later, right? And regular gyms in general, you see a lot of people doing this. I don't know why they do it, because I think there's nothing worse than getting an injury from not having correct form and whatever else it may be. It hurts so bad. I've done it. I pulled my back a few times, shoulders, biceps, like everything, right? Rolling the ankle. It just hurts so fucking bad. But one thing you see a lot of people do in gyms is kind of have this weird ego, as if people are looking at you or care. Where they'll stack the fucking barbell up with bare plates and then act like they can lift it. They can't, and then they fucking pass out or something, you know? It's just not necessary. Just do the things that you can actually handle, and then obviously slowly but surely kind of work your way up. It makes no sense. But I also just think, if you're just gonna be this fucking douchebag who goes out their way to record themselves while eating, I just think like that's the price you pay, you know? Simple as that. These motherfuckers, man, honestly.
There's always that, like,
Shut
if
up.
you post anything lifting, people have something to say. Post anything hitting
Shooting,
mitts, any of that stuff. Yeah, shooting, any of that hunting.
It's great. I love it.
Maybe just do it correctly. I'm sorry. Maybe just do it correctly. Do it correctly. Lower the weights, concentrate on your form, and slowly build up from there.
It's an ego thing.
not that difficult. But if you want to boast about things, if you want to show off that you're lifting a ton of fucking plates on either side of the barbell, then part of the fucking exchange is that if you can suck your own dick because you lift loads of fucking weight on the barbell, which again isn't that big of an achievement. I sometimes will post some of my workouts and stuff, but it's not like I'm patting myself on the back. It's just making a record of what I've done. Like, hey, I went to the gym today. This is what I did. You know, it's not really about the weights. But some of these guys, especially Breandan, you know, how he's getting so triggered and whatever else it is about this question, where his feelings are getting hurt. It's like, bro, you're doing vanity lifts, right? Cool, no problem. You want to show up to the gym and to everybody else and signal you're a strong guy. But you also have to know, when you do those type of things, you're probably going to lead yourself to injury. You're obviously not doing it for any practical reasons either. You're just doing it just to appear like the strongest motherfucker you are.
Yeah, and Breandan had the nerve to call the sensitive. Breandan is one of the most sensitive people I've ever come to cover. And him being sensitive comes down to one word: projection. That's all Breandan knows. Sexuality, achievements, personality. When it comes to projection, Breandan's the king.
And it's just weird. It's just a weird place to be, in my personal opinion. To be that guy that's walking around fucking, you know, getting fucking pissed off of people or post, like, just shut up, man, honestly.
The experts out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you post a video doing it. Like, nah, never, man. Why not?
Yeah.
Because
You don't even work out.
most people aren't that self-conscious. Most people don't give a fuck about posting clips. The majority of people that majority of times I go to the gym, there's a certain time, maybe it's like on a Friday, like just after work, where you see more people coming in who are recording themselves, maybe because they're personal trainers, maybe because they're recording themselves for some fucking seminar thing or whatever, workshop later, who knows. Maybe they're doing it because they're influencers. But the only time you really see people with cameras and tripods, in my gym at least, is around after 7 p.m. and shit. That's when you really see people out and about. But for the most part, people go to gyms and just get it over and done with, bro. They put on their headphones, they do what needs to be done, they're on a row machine, they're doing whatever they're doing, they bang it for an hour and then they just roll out. It's not that deep. They're not in there doing mad shit. So the ones who do all that mad shit are just doing loads of extra shit.
Al, your vote doesn't count.
No.
Okay. This is a two-part, one for you, Brian, and one for you, Breandan. Of a 10-year-long listener, Joe Garcia. Thank you so much, Joe. Brian, how much time do you spend writing jokes, and how different are the crowds?
Oh, I'd love to hear this, by the way. How much time do you actually spend writing jokes, please? Probably no time, because he's still telling the same jokes he did probably 20, 50 years ago, or 30. But let's see how long he actually takes him to write jokes, or, you know, write a section of jokes that could be performed on stage or something. Let's hear what he has to say.
In Austin.
So not enough time, but lately I've been writing a lot. How much time? It's a mindset.
Not enough time. Of course, so he doesn't write, by the way. Not enough time. So he doesn't write, by the way. Which again goes to back to what I'm saying before. Remember my theory where I said stand-up comedy isn't bad. It's just that all these guys make too much money in podcasting, so they don't put enough effort into their fucking stand-up. They just fucking phone it in. And because you're podcasting for so long, you're in front of a camera, reading chat, doing all this like I'm doing now, obviously on a higher level, I think you sometimes gain a lot more of a you become a lot more confident and reassured in yourself than you probably give yourself credit for. So most likely that the woman probably has to get a master key to obviously, you know, open that door, whatever it may be. But I think in general, these motherfuckers don't actually write jokes. I don't think so, bro.
I don't think so either.
I just don't think so. I'm just trying to picture in my head, when would there be a scenario where Brian will write a joke? Think about it. Any of these comedians, when would there be a scenario where they'd be sitting down, mulling over a bit, you know, fucking going over it again with a fine tooth comb, trying to figure out what's working, what's not working? When would they ever do that? When they spend all their time podcasting? When they spend all their time recording themselves speaking and shit? When they spend all their time appearing on their friends' shows? When have they actually got time to do that?
I think that the majority of the jokes that they write are the jokes that they come up with on their podcast. So yeah, they're not writing, they're arguably using their podcast for ideas, which maybe is a smart thing to do, but well, it brings to mind George Carlin. He's a great dude, but I've never seen any of his stuff. But apparently he's the best, the greatest. And he probably took his work very seriously. Like you said, AZ, they're all so comfortable just doing what they do, podcasting, talking in front of the camera, and if they think that's enough. No. If you're gonna be a comedian, you need to get out in the field and do the work. It would be like, for me, if I just made guitar covers and only practiced the songs I was going to make. No. Well, not only do I practice a bunch of songs, but I'm actively seeking another band. That's the difference. Either you're about it or you're not about it, but you need to choose a lane.
They don't. And they also make the large majority of their monthly income that kind of covers them and their family and shit is through T-Fat-K. That's why he's not going anywhere, Brian. Not going. That's why he probably was confessing, admitting to A$AP Rocky to follow him to fucking wherever he is now, right? Is it Miami or some shit? That's why. Because he knows he ain't coming back. He knows he ain't coming back.
So it's like I'm always writing in some ways. What I do is if I start to
In
worry
some
about
ways.
something, if I'm thinking about some bullshit, I just bring myself back to, all you do is in general.
You got Josie, because none of them are funny, naturally funny. I disagree, my dear. I think they are. I think they've demonstrated they are funny on pods early on. I just think it's harder to be funnier on stage. It just is. Like, I've been hearing a lot of people have done it before, trying to take whatever comedy, trying to take whatever comedic chops you have with your friends and then trying to parlay that on stage. Doesn't work the same way. So I personally think they are just not good at sort of, you know, holding that side of their craft. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Absolutely none. Let's continue.
In life, discipline is learning how to refocus your eye and start writing about something, an idea you have, instead of fretting, instead of criticizing somebody, instead of wishing something, instead of like wanting.
Didn't they just ask him how much he writes? And now he's pontificating about all this stuff, blabbering about all this shit. You could tell he doesn't write shit in it. The guy just asked him, hey, how many often do you write jokes and stuff? And he's like, I don't know what this is all about. It sounds like
Getting
a code.
defensive.
Sounds like some gaslighting. I don't know what else it is, but it sounds interesting.
Interesting.
Or avoid. We do these tricks. Our brains, our thoughts are always fucking going, right? You can actually train your brain to be always writing, always thinking about something creative.
I've always about to say, you can train your brain to be always right.
Yeah, it did sound like
You can
that.
train your brain to justify everything you do, however bad it may be. You can justify your brain to to verify all your worst and encourage all your worst intentions and desires. Fucking hell. Let's continue.
It's just a discipline. So that's the answer to that. I never put a fence around work. I just make it part of what I am. It's the overwhelming part of who I am.
I thought he was gonna say work is a part of my practice, and practice is a part of my work.
Yeah.
And I've lived like, oh, shut up, honestly, bro.
The hardest workers in the
This
room.
fucking guy.
And what was the other question?
The crowds in Austin.
They're
compared
great.
to
They're
here.
unbelievable.
Is it different than here?
No. To me, no crowd's
crowd.
different.
Yeah.
Crowds
I
are
think they're a
crowds.
little more lenient there. Yeah, they got a little
I
more
don't know,
open to
man.
laughter.
I don't know. If you're up there
LA
doing
crowds are
some
great.
bullshit, they'll get quiet.
Yeah.
They'll get quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, the crowds are there to laugh. If you're not funny, you know, if you're not bringing it nowadays,
It's not like a comic in LA is like, man, the crowd was so tight in LA, but in Austin, I'm crushing. It's like, no.
one of the things that people say,
you're not
well,
crushing
the
it here, you
comedy,
ain't crushing it
the
there.
people say the comedy store main.
Didn't he mean the opposite? Didn't he try to insinuate with that joke that all the woke progressive comedians in LA comedy scene couldn't crush over there in Texas? But then when he said it the second time, he tried to make it seem as if, oh, if you're not crushing in LA, you ain't crushing in Texas. But I swear it sounded like shade in the beginning. It sounded like shade. I don't think.
I mean, it probably was shade, but it sort of confused me about what he was even talking about. Yeah, Breandan just talking nonsense.
He was trying to be complimentary. It sounded like he was trying to sneak this. And he
Oh,
obviously
for
fucked
sure.
up and said what he meant to say. Let's play it again. One more time.
If you're not bringing it nowadays,
It's
they're-
not like a comic in LA is like, man, the crowd was so tight in LA, but in Austin, I'm crushing. It's like, no.
one of the things that people
If
say,
you're not
well,
crushing.
No, I think he's just saying if you're funny, you're funny. But Breandan, dude, come on, get some self-awareness.
Yeah, he tries to make it. This is definitely one of his right-wing talking points. Jesus Christ, man. It's not that deep, really. But hey, here we are, live stream. If you're enjoying the stream,
Here
you
we
like what you see, make sure you smash the like button down below. We've got about, 98 people watching now, nearly 100 people,
Oh,
only
yeah.
got 29 likes. If you could help me out with some likes down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, greatly.
AZ really summed it up very well. Everyone, what do I have to say that maybe hasn't already been said? Here's a few things. Breandan, you need to realize that your life is in your own hands. You are so quick to throw shade throw accusations, throw accountability at everyone. But you never look in the mirror and say, what did I do wrong? You take Joe Rogan's word as gospel because you, for some reason, think he's never wrong. Everyone is haters. No, not really. I do because I'm freaking crazy. You do, Breandan, because you need to face reality. You're not a good guy. Everyone, thank you so much for watching episode 94 of the Trugwalk series. If I'm not mistaken, this should be one of my longest Trugwalks yet. Who will I Trugwalk for episode 100? Well, let's just say he identifies as black and he's in the video. Everyone, thank you so much. I really hoped you liked this. Episode 100 will be live, and unlike Breandan, the chat will also not be disabled. I can take the heat only a little before I just stay up at night and cry. So if you can live with me crying at night, then you're cool in my book. Everyone, seriously, thank you so much. Remember, you are loved and appreciated, and the things that you think about that maybe bother you, just realize in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. I still get embarrassed a little about when I slipped on snow in front of my gym like 6 or 7 months ago. But I need to realize is all those workers that may or may not have seen have probably forgot, and they have their own lives, their own problems to deal with. Don't stress. Take life one day at a time, and it'll all be okay. I promise you. Everyone, thank you so much. Remember, you are loved and appreciated. I'll catch you in the next video, but until then, Nikki's signing out. See ya, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day.